So you got to refer to the team's current velocity and ask the question, what is our velocity currently? And the Scrum Master realizes the team's velocity, it's been 40 story points per sprint. And you could base this on your best three. I always ask people, get your top three, okay? And you don't want to look back to sprints you did like years ago. You want to look to your last 5 to 7 sprints. But you want to always look at roughly the three best is what we would recommend. Some teams do it differently, but you got to find an average. And that average is your team's velocity, right? In this case, let's say it's 40 story points. The outcome, your timeline is going to begin to form. Feature 1 was 20 story points, remember? Well, that's half a sprint. Feature 2, 40 story points. We said it was large. That's a full sprint. Feature 3, we said it's 30 story points. That's about 3/4 of a sprint. And feature 4, 40 story points. That's one sprint. So the estimate, if we're doing back-to-back sprints, we would generally look at this as 3 sprints in total. But in instances where we may have people and their uncertainties, you still want to give an estimate that is a range, not it'll take us 3 sprints. My recommendation will be always to put in the element of doubt. Could take us 3 to 4 sprints to be on the safe side. In that way, you're not disappointing anyone and you've got enough buffer in case things happen, in case there's system failures, in case technology disappoints. Step 8, you got to factor in risk, uncertainty, and dependencies. And this is why I said 3 sprints is okay, but you always need to think about a buffer. Think about what we call a contingency. So in regulated industries like pharmaceutical, just imagine what happens in the government space, right? Compliance might delay delivery, or a team might add, in this case of the pharmaceutical, an extra sprint as a safeguard. So while 3 sprints seems like the most apparent number, it would make sense for you to put in that buffer. So you could communicate to your client, to your stakeholders, this is an estimate of 3 to 4 sprints. When you communicate that back to the business, it acts as a safeguard, and no one's looking for your head at the end of the 3rd sprint. Because you know people, when you give them estimates, they hold you accountable to it. They will squash you on it. So you don't want that to be the case. Be smart. Always use ranges.